Where are the men? What happened? I don't know who's to blame. Men don't want to be men anymore. I feel like we're around a bunch of Peter Pan. What happened to men and values and family and taking care of their women and just being the man and the protector? And women saying, oh, I don't need a man. I don't need a man for nothing. Yes, we do. I say it all the time. Need men.
You know, it's comments like this that never cease to amaze me. Only if I got a ring. Look, you are either a wife or you are not. You are either a husband or you are not. I don't understand why people create this notion in their head that if he puts a ring on it, then I'll act like this. If he marries me, then I will start acting a certain way. So you want that man to take a gamble? You want that man to sit there and say, okay, maybe she is wife material, so let me put that ring on it to find out. You see, I show my girl that I'm husband material. She comes to me and says, baby, I want you to build me a farmhouse table. Okay, you got it. Or if something's broken in her house, call me Sam the Onion Man because I can fix that. The moral of the story is, you want a husband, start acting like a wife. If you want a wife, start acting like a husband. And that's just facts.
You want to know why men stop putting in the effort in relationships? Effort requires appreciation. When you first met, taking you for a simple meal that wasn't very expensive was more than enough for you. Flowers would make your whole week. Him telling you that he was going to be home late was something that you appreciated because then you could plan after. Those phone calls became a nagging sensation. He would call and tell you he was coming home late, and you would emasculate him and tell him that now he's late again and he's never home and he's not worth anything. You were creating arguments out of small things that once was something that you appreciated. You started disrespecting him and you started using something like intimacy that was one of the most beautiful things that you both loved and loved doing together. You started using that as a weapon. He either gave you what you wanted and leveled up to what you wanted, or he wasn't getting any that night. You started making excuses and started demasculating him, and now you're asking for effort.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. You know, the more modern women continue to be selfish, the more they got to lose. They don't understand that now, but about 10, 15 years they will.
I just knew that.
Are we going to apply this to women as well? If she truly loves you, she'll just know. She'll study you and know. And here's the thing is sometimes you do have to ask. Your partner cannot possibly tell you every single thing that they've ever wanted in their life. That would be a very long conversation. And it's also worth considering the cost and the effort that goes into certain things. And will the appreciation match that? Because a lot of men have done stuff like this, but the woman treated it like it was no big deal, like it was bare minimum. And that makes him never want to do it again.
Leads me to the next thing that I'd like to say. I don't want any more black churches doing any singles conferences or women's conferences. For the next year, and really probably for this foreseeable future, you need to be doing conferences dealing with the wholeness of black men. And I'm serious on that. I don't want no other single conference, nothing. You need to be doing conferences for the wholeness of black men. And I am specifically speaking about black men because that is the skin that I am in. I can't speak for what other people are doing. I can't. I don't want no other singles conferences because you are pocketing. Because black women are profitable to your tithes and offering. I'm just keeping it real. And every conference you sitting up here doing is not addressing the root issue in many of these relationships. You need to be doing conferences for black men about the unemployment rates of black men, about their mental health, how to sustain and have healthy relationships. You need to get some grant money. You need to do something. I don't know, but I don't want to hear nothing about a singles conference until you start doing them for black men. It's too much. I have noticed these.
You know, more guys see things clearly, especially after women continue to put them in the friend zone. And they go out there and have 4 or 5 kids and then want you to, you know, kind of come back and take care of them.
The man truly in his divine masculine is confident and extremely obsessed with you. If he's not obsessed with you, he's not the right guy for you. That means you are a placeholder in his mindset. And to go into what a placeholder is a woman in a man's life that he is getting certain things from, whether it be intimacy or companionship, but she's not the one that he wants to spend his life with. That means he's constantly looking around for someone else.
Because men can't be alone.
ladies. No.
Men can't be alone. We don't understand this. Janelle's saying she's been a single mom for, 8 years.
Right.
Women are fine alone. Like a lot of us are. There are some that are pick-me-shas that aren't, and you need to do work. And I was a pick-me-sha, so no shade. Like, you need to heal as a pick-me-sha so you can be alone. But like a lot of women can be alone. They'd rather be alone. Men, it's not that way. Men need a woman.
Men do 100% need a woman. They may pretend like they don't, but in reality, they need a woman's love. They need a woman's attention and affection to feel complete themselves.
Energy.
Yeah, it's all about energy. Like in our relationship, we have such amazing energy and such great connection because of it. But if she was to pull her energy from me, it would drive me absolutely crazy. And all men are that way. If you starve them of your energy, they will go crazy about it. So they truly need it in their lives.
It is, ladies, listen, your your feminine energy is your currency. Okay, I'm telling you right now. If they are not obsessed with you, pull your energy back. And what's funny is when I was dating before I met him, I had healed enough and gotten obsessed with myself enough that I was like, nothing less than obsessed. I came up with that term for myself. And I was like, I do not want a man unless he's obsessed with me. And I got so much hate on this app where people were like, men and women were like, you're Delulu, obsessed with you. What's wrong with you? Like, go to the therapist. You have trauma. And I'm like, no, I knew inherently somewhere, like a man that is for me will be obsessed with me. And you're my husband, and you're still obsessed with me.
100%. Like, it's a healthy thing. People are looking at the word obsessed and thinking of it as
like
psychotic or stalker or crazy, right? Obsessed means that you are truly madly in love with that person that you're with, and you're willing to do anything for them at any time because you love them so much, because they mean so much to you, and that you want to protect their heart, you want to protect their soul.
When a man feels used, he starts observing and moving smarter. Modern women don't understand that until they go and try to do that move again, and that way is closed.
Here's another example of why women are the problem sometimes. So women are like, when we go to the gym, the men stare at us. The men stare at us. We don't want you to stare at us. I just watched a video of a woman doing calisthenics and nothing but a crop top and skin tight booty shorts. And there was 3 men around her, and the entire minute video, none of them looked at her. They didn't give a single what she was doing, okay? And so I noticed it naturally, right? And so I went to the comments, and every female in that comment section is like, but no one looked? Oh, so now you want them in to stare at you at the gym? That's a little hypocritical. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? No, it doesn't. How about you just go to the gym and everyone there is minding their own business? Like, if people stare, people stare. If they don't, like, whatever, big whoop. People are there to fight their own demons. They're not there to, like, oh my God.
When a man, all a man really has to do nowadays is jump on TikTok and see just how short-sighted modern women have become. Just really no upside to them, no long-term potential, no nothing.
Guys, never commit to a woman who can't be corrected. If she flips out every time you call her out, you ain't in love, bruh. You are in trouble. A woman who cannot be corrected cannot be led. These are the kinds of women who fight you for the steering wheel, then blame you for the crash. She doesn't want to get it right. She wants to be right. Every time you correct her, she acts like you attacked her ego. That's not love, guys. That's pride with lipstick, hoops, and heels. She'll hit you with the, you're controlling me. No, ho. He's just setting his standards, and you just aren't used to discipline, only attention. Here's the psychology behind a woman who can't be corrected. When you correct her and she gets defensive, it's not about the point you made. It's about the power she thinks she's losing. She'll call you toxic, manipulative, and misogynistic, all because you told her the truth. Modern women love lies while they hate accountability. If she cannot be corrected, she cannot be trusted. Because the minute life gets real, she'd rather argue than adapt. A real one will check herself. She'll hear you out, she'll process it, and she'll course correct. That is a woman worth committing to, not some emotional toddler. Don't fix that kind of woman, guys. You outgrow her. Because respect isn't built on silence. It's built on correction that gets received, not rejected. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to get daily dating wisdom just like this.
I don't know what it is about modern women today, man, but their energy is just off. Their vibe is just off. Like the things that they do, the things that they say, the way that they think, it's just no. You wouldn't want to date that.
Girls tell guys exactly what they want with subtle hints. Example, I have left these flowers here for 3 weeks. They've been here on the table for 3 weeks, and I've been thinking, my boyfriend passes this table 6 billion times a day. He sees this 6 billion times a day. One of these times he's gonna pass by and think, the flowers they're crumbling all over the table. I think it's probably time to replace the flowers. I was sadly mistaken, as Justin Bieber said. I was sadly mistaken. And now I have to throw these flowers away, and I'm gonna probably get new ones for myself. I just feel like that was the most subtle hint I could have possibly left.
You know what your man's actually probably thinking is that you must really like those flowers because you're keeping them for a long time, and he's not going to touch them because you must really like them. Or he didn't even notice the flowers were there. Now, what he might notice is an empty vase with nothing in it. Maybe a little bit of water. Maybe try that. Or maybe just tell him what you want and don't make him read your mind.
So many women over the age of 40 are single. Why do you think that is?
This is a big conversation. There's lots of different reasons. One is that we live in a time where women are making more money than ever and are more independent than ever. So a lot of them are choosing to be single or choosing not to get married. Let's say they're in a relationship, but they're choosing not to get married because they don't see the point in getting married. Whereas in the past, especially through a heteronormative lens, it would be you get married because you need financial support from your husband. And you need other things, but you want to build a family. You want to be at home, and your husband would be sort of the one sort of monetarily supporting the family. And so things have changed a lot for women. I think now, at least for the women I work with, most women, they want to be with someone who's financially stable, but what they're looking for more is someone who's emotionally supportive, right? So women don't need that. It also depends where we're looking. If we're looking at cities, or we're looking more like, suburban areas, it's definitely different in cities.
When a man's effort is not respected, then that man starts to, kind of shut down. And I don't mean shut down in a way of like, oh, woe is me. It's just, this is not, it's not going to be a connection for me here. And he starts going in a different direction.
Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not the coffee shops. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22. So they definitely don't want to be in a relationship. And I definitely do not want to be a cougar. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. Help your girl out. Where are we meeting the good men?
Fellas, where y'all at? This lady can't seem to find where all the good men are. He's definitely not in your friend zone, so don't look there. And he definitely wasn't that non-toxic guy you left in your early 20s. I'm positive that there's no good men that earn average income, so continue to ignore all of them. Definitely don't look in my comment section. Oh, them dudes is terrible. Oh, have you tried the guys that have a bunch of kids with different women? I heard they work out great. Avoid churches because good men don't go to church. But nightclubs that serve alcohol are full of them. If you wait till about 1 a.m., there's a group of good men standing on the corner selling pharmaceuticals. All I know is a large majority of women have tried these men out and been amazed by their results. By the way, the wall doesn't exist, and men love women overweight, over 30, especially if they have kids by another man. Stay toxic.
Okay, y'all, here are my dating guidelines for marriage-minded women for the rest of 2026, because we're not going to waste another summer. If he tells you that his love language is physical touch in the first conversation, that's a no. If he says, I'm not looking for anything serious, believe him, that's a no. If he says, let's just see where this goes, it's probably going nowhere, that's also a no. If he invites you to his house on date 1, heck no. If he asks if you're a virgin or what your body count is, no and blocked. If he sends, what are you doing after midnight? That's a no for me. If he says all of his exes are crazy or psycho, you're probably next. No. If he still follows his ex on social media, nope. If he has a Snapchat, no way. If he follows bikini or OnlyFans accounts, heck no. If he can't pick a place, a time, a plan, no leadership, no date. If he says, I've just been busy, sir, we're all busy. Next. If he makes you feel anxious, confused, or unsure, that's your answer. It's a no. If he has anger issues and you just happen to see those things early, no and blocked. If he disappears for 2 or 3 days, then pops up like nothing ever happened, no, sir. If he says, I'm just going with the flow, bro, go flow somewhere else. If he doesn't like labels, if he can't plan a date, but he can plan a boys' video game night, If he's vague about his job or his life, no mystery men in 2026. We're not doing that. If he says, let's just hang out, we are not in high school. We are not 19. No. If he says that he watches Korn, but he hasn't watched it in a while, no. If he brings up sex after a week of dating and he doesn't even know your last name, that's a no. And if he's mean or disrespectful to his mom or his sister or anyone else, no way. Which ones did I miss? Put them in the comments.
Modern women keep on saying stuff like, oh, well, I want the vibe. Just to be there. I want the energy to just, we just need to, there just needs to be a spark. Something just needs to click. Well, because your energy is bad, then it's never going to click. How come I can't click? How come I can't vibe with anybody? Because you have a terrible attitude. That's what people keep on trying to tell you.
So yeah, men can't be heard. And so, okay, how can I articulate men for women so that women will then be able to see and hear men in their life? I never wanted anybody to need me to do this translation. Just if I can open your eyes, get the prejudice out of our ears, and listen to these folks. And it doesn't mean that everything about them is great. No, they're human. They struggle deeply with issues of honor and accountability and shame and fealty and faith, and they're complex. And they say they're simple. Like when people, when men are like, what do you do? I've been studying men since 1991. I've literally had a man in an airplane turn to me and go, are you slow? We're simple. And it took a while for me to be able to say right back, no, you're not. You're direct, and you confuse that with simple. But a woman has to pay attention to 9 things to have you understand something that she needs.
Go back to y'all. When you start intentionally dating, the men who are also intentionally dating are straight, baby. Don't think you're the only one coming with what you're not going for, your deal breakers, because they are on the same tip. Dating this guy, like, he does not play that aggressive stuff, like arguing or like, you know how you were when you were younger, a little crash out. He don't play crash out. Crash out, you're out.
See, this is what they be talking about when they talk about women having their stuff together too. You can't be the only one with standards and requirements and high value and not expect a man to do the same. This is one of the reasons why I will stress the emphasis on developing yourself as a woman so you are prepared for the exact man that you are calling in. It's one thing for you to have the requirement of desiring a good man. It's another thing for you to become the woman who is prepared to receive a good man. So yes, he's going to come with boundaries. Yes, he's not going to deal with your Yes, he is going to want you to be in control of your emotions. He's not going to tolerate you crashing out, calling excessively, so on and so forth. Those are behaviors of unhealthy men. That y'all think is cute when you blowing a man's phone up, you popping up at his house and doing all kind of crazy. That is not cute to a healthy man. A healthy man is not going to look at your excessive behavior and think, she likes me. He's going to think you're a liability and he is going to cut your off because he has sense. So decide what type of man you want. Do you want the one that's a headache, who likes the fact that you act irrational? Or do you want the man who is calm, cool, collected, has his head on straight? And if you around, you're going to find out. Give me the one with standards.
Here's all the psychology behind why men move on so quickly, or at least seem to move on so quickly. First thing is that men typically use instrumental coping, which just means they are using people or things to help cope with the situation instead of actually dealing with the feelings or emotions. This typical instrumental coping is why so many men move on to newer girls so quickly after a relationship, because they are using that girl as the thing that they are using to help cope instead of, like I said, actually dealing with their feelings. Unless they actually think about it, most men don't know that they are doing this and that they are using this girl as a form of coping. However, a lot of them truly are. Another thing is that a lot of men experience a delayed emotional reaction. I feel like a lot of this is a product of men growing up feeling like they can't feel emotion, that boys don't get upset, don't cry. So a lot of men, when it comes to a breakup, don't feel everything right away, and they typically feel the emotions and sadness of a breakup later, which is again why they'll seem like they're fine right when they go through a breakup. The third thing is that, especially for a lot of men, a breakup really threatens their ego, and a man does not want to feel like he has gotten a big shot to his ego when him and a girlfriend break up, things like that. So instead of actually dealing with the situation, and instead of feeling like their ego is deflated, they find someone new very quickly to bring their ego back up. So move on to other girls, start talking to them quickly, moving on quickly, because again, they need that outside source to boost up their ego quickly instead of feeling like the breakup could potentially hurt that. And the fourth thing, kind of going back to that, and the fourth thing is that honestly, men don't want to feel the type of emotions that come with a breakup. They don't want to feel lonely. They don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want to feel upset. Like I said before, most men have been predisposed to think that they shouldn't feel those feelings. They shouldn't feel upset. They shouldn't feel lonely. And honestly, because of that, they just don't want to. And because of that, they will find a new girl quickly. They will go out. They will act like they are having the best time in the entire world because they are doing everything they can to not have to feel lonely, to not have to feel upset, to not have to deal with those emotions. So everything they're doing as a part of this breakup process that is making it look like they've moved on so quickly is a result of trying to not feel those emotions.
This is how my dad told me about love. He said, listen, son, your heart is like a piece of duct tape. And he said, if you stick to one thing one time, that adhesive on that tape stays strong.
I get it now.
Yeah, you know, so it stays strong. But when you keep taking it off and sticking it on and taking it off and sticking it on and taking it off and sticking it on, it don't stick no more. So now you got a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they tape ain't sticky. They don't know how to stick together. They don't know how to be in a relationship. They done been through so many. That's like now they in and out of a relationship.
That's real. The duct tape thing hits different because it's just cause and effect. You keep jumping around, your ability to actually commit gets worn down. It's not some deep mystery why people can't stay in anything anymore. They trained themselves not to, and now they're in their 30s, 40s wondering why nothing sticks. That's what happens when you treat relationships like options instead of choices.
Ladies, can we please stop pretending like this is something cute? Because you basically admitting that you are holding on to some amount of resentment or you're keeping score in some sort of way with your husband doesn't look good on you. It is not something that all the women can come into the comments and be like, oh no, you know me so well. And that's it. Like, it's nothing that actually needs to be addressed, because absolutely this is something that needs to be addressed if this is going on in a marriage. Because honestly, men, husbands are sick of it. They are sick of being the bad guys simply for taking a nap. And they are sick of having to wake up from that very nice nap or being woken up by his wife to a very grumpy wife, a wife that does not obviously appreciate the things that he does do when he's awake because she thinks that he doesn't ever deserve a nap. I mean, if you are just jealous, ladies, and you want a nap, take the nap. Ask him, watch the kids, let me have a nap too. Like, guys will do that. If he likes you, he'll do that. And if he doesn't, then that's another problem. And that's something that you could have a valid complaint over, but not simply this, not him just taking the nap in the first place.
Listen, I don't think submission is exclusive to men or women, but if you want to generalize, men are more submissive. They just are. Okay, women are way better leaders. They don't need to be told what to do. They don't like being told what to do. That's why in order to be submissive, they have to be oppressed with no rights, right? Men love being told what to do. They need it, actually. All right, that, like, no one respects a man in power like other men. That's why men are better soldiers, because they listen. They always got to be told what to do. How the f*** do you think you're a leader of a household when you can't even, like, take the trash out without someone telling you it needs to be taken out? Some of you can't even go to the grocery store without, like, calling your wife a million times. Okay? Women are not submissive.
All right, queens, you guys have been asking for this one. 5 traits that all men want in their woman. Here we go. Number 1, physical attraction. If you want to know one thing about men, it's this. They are absolutely visual creatures. I cannot stress that enough. A man of quality is going to want a woman who takes pride in her physical appearance. She doesn't necessarily have to be the most beautiful woman in the room, but she is going to be a woman that understands the importance of how she presents herself to the world. Number 2, cooperation. And this one is so simple. If you want a man that's a natural leader, you're going to have to know how to cooperate. He's going to want to see if you can be a partner, if you can be a team player. He's not going to want to fight with you over every single little thing. If you are stubborn, combative, closed-minded, and negative, a man of quality is going to find that extremely unattractive. A lot of us women get into the bad habit of making everything a battle. And if you want a man who is high quality, he is going to have way bigger things on his mind, like running your family in the right direction. He's not going to want to argue with you over what you are going to have for dinner. Number 3, to feel wanted. Don't get me wrong. He wants you to be fully yoked. He wants you to have a life. He wants you to have all of those things. And you can be independent. You can be a boss woman, but just make sure that you're operating in that feminine energy that makes a man feel wanted. He's going to love the fact that you have passions and interests in a life outside of him, but you have to remember that a man's natural state is to be a provider and to be a protector, and he's going to want a woman that makes him feel like he has room to do that in her life. Number 4, and y'all are not going to like this one, accountability. Yeah, harsh truth. We don't have any problem telling a man the 152 ways that they are wrong. But when the tables turn and it's our turn to be accountable, a high-quality man is going to want to see that you know how to do that. Can you apologize? Can you hold yourself accountable? For some reason, for us women, it's so hard to acknowledge when we're wrong and to say that we're sorry. But a high-quality man is going to want to see that you can do that. It goes back to being a good partner. And number 5, last but not least, I hint at this one all the time, so I'm going to speak on it now, feminine energy. I know for some reason whenever people talk about masculine energy versus feminine energy, it gets so controversial, and I really don't understand why that is. It's honestly very simple. Your grace, your class, your poise, your confidence, your nurturing, compassionate energy. If he's really looking for a wife, he's going to want to see a woman who can bring the qualities to the relationship that he naturally as a man cannot. Now here's the thing, and this message goes to men and women. It is not fair to go out into the dating market with a full list of all of the things that you need in a partner when you don't really know the first thing about what your partner is going to need from you. Relationships are a two-way street, and if you want to find and build a relationship that lasts the test of time, you're going to have to care about your partner's happiness and their needs just as much as your own.
All right, so here's what's actually happening. She's laying out what men actually want, and it's not complicated. Physical attraction, cooperation, making him feel needed, accountability, feminine energy. That's it. No games, no tests, no list of demands he's got to meet first. Just basic partnership. Most men would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Hey, have men ever thought about telling you how they feel while it's happening? You know you guys can do that, right? Like if you're having a feeling like in the moment, you can just say it. You can tell me. You can tell me. You don't have to wait until you break up with me and you spiral on something that, you know, maybe could have been resolved or at least alluded to earlier on. We could have. Like, do you know you can do?
I think the problem for a lot of men is that they do tell you their feelings early on in the relationship, but then at some point he's made to feel like he regrets it because he either ends up apologizing for how his feelings hurt your feelings, or his thoughts and feelings on something ends up getting used against him later on. So ladies, if you really do want your man to tell you his feelings in the moment, you have to be able to receive it and empathize with it. And let me tell you, that is a really hard thing to do if you don't understand men. So follow me. I know men pretty well.
Pass me my phone.
Bro, stop, bro.
Pass me my fucking phone.
Nah.
I'm about to post on my blue page if you don't pass me my phone right now.
Bro, are you fucking serious? What are you doing?
I have no idea how men do it. Men out here with OnlyFans models, strippers, you know, and wondering why they're not having peace in their life. You know, pray for them. I'm not going to say they can't be saved. Anyone can be saved through Jesus. And it's not something you want to be doing, man. Not somebody you want to be wifing up or having children with. You know, you pray for them, but walk away and respect yourself, man, and find a woman of God. Find a woman who's going to put God first in her life, and you're going to know she's not going to have a million red flags. She's going to be human. She's going to make mistakes like everyone else does out here, man, but she's going to put God first in her life. And more importantly, she's going to fear God. Someone who fears God is not going to be doing those things. You know, and the best thing you can do, man, is walk away and respect and love yourself and just run to God. Run to him with all your problems, your fears, your doubts, anything you're thinking about, man, run to him with those things. He will take care of you. He will protect you. And he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Find a wife.
When was the last time you held a job?
Like a year ago, I was cashier.
Okay. Was there an injury or something?
No. I was fired for being late.
So you're just lazy?
No, I was late. I was just
So you're trifling?
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
Are you trolling me?
No.
Let me see your hands. Put those up. Uh-oh, nice fingernails.
Thank you.
Did you do those yourself?
No.
You went and got them done?
Mm-hmm.
Who paid for that?
I paid for them.
With what?
With the unemployment money.
Are you trolling me?
No, but Kevin, don't you think I have to look like something?
I think you need to grow up.
Oh, okay.
Man, you're 33 years old and haven't had a job in a year. And the job you had as a cashier, you got fired from for being late. That's lazy and that's trifling. If you were a man, they would call you a deadbeat. Because you got 2 kids and you get unemployment. So you're juking the state. You got the nerve to have these fingernails up like you got money to pay for them. That's trash.
But as a woman, you should like look like something.
For who?
You know, just for like.
For your mama and your kids, you ain't going nowhere, you ain't doing nothing. You came on saying having expectations. And I'm like, at what point do you plan on getting into life and start being an adult?
Today I deleted the dating apps because I matched with a man whose first message to me was, I bet your day just got a lot better because we matched.
So can someone make it make sense? Because women have literally been begging men to come to the table more confident, have more wit, have more charismatic and charm. And when they do, they still get dragged. So you mean to tell me when he says, hello, how are you? That's too boring. But when he hits you with some kind of cute banter, you don't even want to joke back and you think that he's part of the problem because you lack a sense of humor? Make it make sense. Like, what is it that y'all want? Do you even know at this point? Because if he's too funny, that's weird and you're going to immediately block him. But if he just says, hey, how are you? Then that's boring and not enough effort. So you're still not going to carry out a conversation. Like, that's confusing as. And imagine being so self-absorbed and so self-centered and so entitled that you think that a man that doesn't even know you, you are like automatically entitled to his time, his effort, and his energy. Even though y'all are on the same exact dating app, so why not match that energy and give him the same banter back? Or is it because you lack a sense of humor? Like, which one is it? Y'all want men to make the first move, but then when he does, it's still not good enough. But if he does nothing, then he's a low effort, low value man. And let's just call it what it is. You didn't find him attractive enough, which is why you didn't continue the conversation, and you're just using dating apps for validation and more attention to feed your ego, your pride, and to make you feel good about yourself, even though you have zero intention of actually dating men that you're matching with in the first place. Okay, bye.
Can you live in peace with a man? Can you submit to a man? Can you play the background?
When you say play the background, what do you mean play the background?
Play your natural role.
My natural role in being a wife?
Yes, in the background.
I don't think a natural role as a wife is in the background.
Show me where in the world a natural wife is in front.
She's not in front, but she's beside.
No, she's not.
Why she's not, Kevin?
Are you out of your French toast mind?
Don't do that now, Kevin. I'm just giving you my opinion.
Okay, well, when a burglar comes, are you standing side, when somebody's coming to break in the house, are you side by side beside your husband? Or are you standing behind him because he's going to have to take the bullet?
To be honest, I'm standing beside my husband.
Then you out of place.
Why am I out of place?
Oh my
God.
God.
Am I too masculine for it?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm telling you why you're out of place. Your place is behind your husband guarding the children.
But who says there isn't a man that's willing to take me for him to...
1 in 4 of you will marry. I mean, look, ma'am, the stats don't work for your argument. Prior to 1965, black people were married at a rate of 80%. You go out to any cemetery, you'll see a black man buried next to a black woman. Mm-hmm. But you go after 1990 and you'll start seeing black women buried around her children.
Why is that?
Because y'all are unruly, unsubmissive, and out of line.
And you have one of these guys that says, well, I have friends that are solid, stable dudes. I mean, they're out here trying to date, but these modern women are passing them over for bums. Yes, they are. Because modern women a lot of times are short-sighted. They only have one thing on their mind, and that's acting goofy. Doing silly stuff for the plot. Oh, well, I think he's a little bit more stable. And they know that. So I'm going to try to push him off as much as I can. And hopefully he's going to be there. And if not, I'm going to have an emotional breakdown. That's going to happen. I'm going to get to the point in my life to where I really want love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my years building coping mechanisms. And at the end of my journey, hopefully I won't have to use them, but they'll be there. Well, what do you mean? I'm going to pour my life into my job, my friends, my family, my community. If I go to church, I'll do that. Gym, I'll do that. Anything and everything. So at the end of it, I really want a man. That's what I really want. And I want this certain type of man. I know he's stable. I know this is a good man. I'm hoping that as a good man and a nice guy, he will see what I'm doing. He will see how hard I work, but he won't say that. He will see how hard I work, and he'll say, I'm going to give her space and let her work through everything. Let her experience everything. And when I say experience everything, I think you know what I mean. Go on trip, do all this other stuff. And mind you, we're not talking about, well, you could be 21. It don't matter. But 25, 30, all these experiences with men, with women, it don't matter. And then you come back, well, I see the value in you now. I see you were one way, but now you're even better. And we can talk about those experiences that I had with these other men without you being insecure about it. Okay. That's what they want you to do. They want you to kind of step back and just kind of wait to say, I know that's my wife. So no matter what she does, she's still going to be my wife. Insurance policy. So by the time I get to about 35, well, 32 to 35. By the time I get there, he's probably going to be there. That's my insurance policy. If not, I'll go freeze my eggs if I need to. Like I said, I have the coping mechanisms that I built into place, going to the gym, getting into a fitness community, going out with my girls, hanging out with my girls, being involved in my career, community, a whole bunch of other stuff that seems legit and would be legit in the context of just hanging out, being busy, right? I'm not telling you that you have to put all your attention into a relationship, but these modern women, they cut their brain off and they say, I just want to go have fun. And they don't think about the consequences. They don't plan for long-term stability and future. Other than, well, if you've got money, then that's probably going to be what I go for most. That's the only thing that they think about, right? But they will sit here and pass up the good man who honestly and truly has this stuff. One guy said, well, my friends make good money, make great money to you because you live on earth. Great money to you because you have a logical ideology about things. This modern woman look at it as 100K and say, well, I make 99K or I make 80K. So that's the same thing as 100K. Huh? That sounds stupid. It does. But that's what they think. If I make 80K and I'm a woman and I have it way harder than him, imagine if I was a man, then I would be making 100K. He needs to be making at least 160K, at least minimum 140, minimum. There's something wrong with him. I can't do that. They think of all types of reasons, all types of silly reasons to be out here messing around, playing in a man's face.